The following is a GoPowercat.com production.
Look at that, guys.
What's
Curtis
up, guys?
Kelly was on time.
That's crazy.
As the intro was playing, he hopped in. We got him in. He's good to go.
Yeah.
Welcome in here, everybody, to the Clent Stewart Show. As always, Clent Stewart. And we got an all-star crew with us today. Martavius Irving, Curtis Kelly, Jordan Henriquez. And let alone the fact that you guys are all former players and your involvement with the TBT team. Purple Rain, Clint, you've obviously got the ties with David Castillo. The other three of y'all have been GAs at Kansas State. So it's one thing to be a former player. It's another to, stay involved the way you guys have over the last, number of years. This program, obviously a big change. Jerome Tang is out. Clint, my man, we'll start with you. Just kind of your initial reactions. I know we've talked over the last 24 hours a lot about this, but what was your first thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, I think there was the thought that something was probably going to happen. Obviously I was shocked that it happened. Just yesterday when I started seeing the texts, and obviously checking X or Twitter, and then like, wait, is this real? Right? Is this really happening right now? Definitely shocked. But it's unfortunate that the state that you're in, man, within college athletics, it's a business, right? And you got to win first and foremost. And every program hires a coach to win, and coaches know that, right? I mean, coaches know when they come in, they got to win, and it's if you don't win, then there's changes that are made. It happens, at every single level, and it's unfortunate that obviously that had to happen in the middle of the season, but I think there's multiple things. I know we've talked about, maybe some of the things that have been said in the media, maybe not said. Unfortunately, Gene, felt like he needed to make a change, and that's the direction he wanted to head in. And that's his job as the AD, right? I mean, he has to make those decisions, that he thinks are best fit for the program and best fit for the university. But one thing I do want to just touch on real quickly is, and I've said this, I talked to David Castillo yesterday. When these things happen, and whether you're on the side that you think that a coach should lose his job or a coach shouldn't lose his job, one thing that's certain is, it's real lives, it's real relationships, it's real families that are affected. You know what I mean? And so, no matter what, like I said, whatever side you're on, you have a right to be on whatever. You probably have an opinion on either side, but still, just remember, I mean, that's people's livelihoods, that's families, not only from a coaching staff standpoint, potential trainers, obviously managers, players, and players are affected as well. So, a lot of people are affected in it. So I hope people just remember that aspect of it, and hopefully things will, shake out and be good for K-State. We all want K-State to be great. Us as former players, we always talk about it. We want K-State to be great. And so that's our mindset.
Tay, we had you on probably a month ago, Clent Stewart Show, and things were not looking good then. Over the last 30 days or so, it's gone from bad to worse, and now a new coach will be in charge of this program next year.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what Clint said, it's just that's part of the business, man. That's how it goes. A lot of what dictates your job around, 18 to 22-year-olds are older now. It's just wins and losses, really. And we all want to see our university do good. So it's an unfortunate situation, but it happens everywhere. I'm sure you're going to see, we'll see more big names this year throughout the NCAA, from some of the struggling schools make a change as well. So unfortunate, but that's just how it goes.
Kurt, you were a GA with this staff, and so you've seen some negative stuff said about Tang, and that's not something you like. It's something you take personal, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I had the pleasure of working with him. To me, he's a phenomenal leader, a phenomenal father, good coach, great coach. It's tough because, wins and losses, people care about the results more than a person in this era of basketball, which I get. But I think that I personally believe it was a little hard for him to adjust to the NIL era. and a lot of things that was going on in the NIL era is different from how me, Jo, and Tay and Clent for sure. During those times was way different than it is now, and I think he had to try to navigate through that era. But me knowing him personally, a phenomenal man, phenomenal person. Show love to all of us. You know what I mean? Show love to everyone here. And show genuine love to all of us. So it's unfortunate. I was saddened about it, to hear about the news. But yeah, let's get to it. Let's talk some more about it though. I got a lot going on, so let's talk about it. I start my opening sentence with that though.
Jo,
Yeah,
talked with you last night. You're in town. Ryan Gilbert usually the only one in the Little Apple, but you're here as well, man.
Yeah. I'm here as well. Here for work. Been working with Shamrock now for over a couple months, and here doing some mock interviews with some students. So it's been good. Outside of sitting at a desk and asking about 15 and 20 questions in 30-minute interviews. My time has been loved in Manhattan. It's my second home. But just to kind of talk about the situation that occurred 24 hours ago. It's very unfortunate for Coach. For somebody who's very passionate about the game, who has put his time and energy to help turn his program around. After the way my guy Coach Weber went out, he put K-State back on the pedestal. In year one, and obviously, the wins and losses is just kind of what, helped determine this decision. I don't know about all the verbal stuff and things like that when it came to his contract and what was said. And, we don't know the real truth around that. So, at the end of the day, it is about, somebody that, that cared about the university, who meant well. And, his coaching staff as well. Somebody like Coach Driscoll, who, took the time to move his family out here after being in North Florida for almost 2 decades, to take his time and sacrifice and come here to Manhattan to all of a sudden, have to change that around, a couple months from now. It's unfortunate, but, at the end of the day, business is business. I wish, nothing but, Coach Tang and his staff the best. I'm pretty sure most of the staff is going to finish out the rest of the season. I'll be here at the Baylor game tomorrow. I'm still going to support my guys. I was in Houston over the weekend at the game as well. No matter about what the record is, at the end of the day, I still bleed purple. So, supporting the guys and hoping that they can turn it around before, it's all said and done. That's what I'm here for, to give those guys energy and just let them know that I'm passionate about, K-State.
I want to remind everybody, 75% off at GoPowercat. Sale goes from now until Sunday, I believe. A lot of stuff going on, hot boards. We're sharing what we can on those message boards as well. So take advantage of that while you can. Also, if you're watching this, pop in the live chat. We'd love to hear from you. These guys, they love y'all. So, Clent, weird timing. And a firing is never normal, right? But the timing, the way this has gone the last 24 hours, and you've seen, I guess, both sides, I don't want to say clap back, but this is not going to be something that just gets shoved aside and it's history. This is unfortunately going to be something that drags on for a little bit with some of the buyout details.
Yeah, no doubt. And when you're seeing, I don't know if people are familiar with Tom Mars, who Tang just hired as his attorney, but Tom Mars is one of the top attorneys. He was the lead general counsel and lawyer for Walmart, Walmart Corporation in Bentonville. So he's a big time guy. He's led a lot of high profile athletes, from Justin Fields to Shea Patterson, to Houston Nutt, coach at Ole Miss, football coach, Tom Crean. He's had a lot of cases, very familiar with the NCAA rules. So obviously Coach Tang hired him to be his attorney to obviously fight the buyout, and we'll see how that goes. My guess is, there's probably going to be a settlement somewhere in the middle, where maybe K-State, the buyout's not the 18 million, but it's not zero, right? But we'll see. There's a lot of things that have to be worked out from the language standpoint, and but I will say this, there's a lot of talk around, around Coach Tang challenging the guys, right, and challenging, who deserves to wear purple and white, right, and I'll say this: a lot of coaches do that all the time. I'll say that from that standpoint. I mean, Deion Sanders just did it recently, last year, and so to me that's not something that's unheard of. Now, whether you liked when he did it or how he did it or whatever, that's up for discussion. But I'll say, coaches challenge players all the time, and just to try to get them to play up to a standard that they expect. And so, I don't know what's there, what's not. That's obviously for attorneys to kind of figure out in that legal jargon. But I will say that, it's as players, I was happy to see that in our last game, after he did challenge them, that they came with more effort. No, we didn't have the result of winning, right? But it was a different game than, I sat at the Cincinnati game and watched it, and it was disheartening. It was hard to watch. It was, the lack of effort wasn't there. Houston's obviously a better team. We know going down to Houston, I mean, we could have played our best and they probably still would have beat us, but the players did respond with effort, and I think that's what we want as former players, watching guys that have on that jersey, that are in that situation that we've been in, like that's what we want to see, like, you know what I'm saying? And so I'm hoping that even though Coach Tang obviously has been fired and university's moving in a different direction, like as a player, you still have an obligation that when you go out there to play, to bring all your effort every single game, starting tomorrow against Baylor. Bring your effort, man, because you're still representing the university, and for some of these guys that might have aspirations of saying, hey, I'm transferring after this year, well, guess what? There's coaches that are watching as well, right? And so if you want to go somewhere, like they're going to watch how you finish the season, right? So,
Right.
I think it's big that the players remember that and still give everything that they have in these next games that we have.
No, and that's just to kind of piggyback off of you, Clint. Being there in Houston, they really play their tails off. You know what I mean? Like from start to finish, for about 6.5, 7 minutes of the game, we were winning the game. We were controlling the game. We had our cold streak where we just couldn't make shots. I wouldn't say it was necessarily a lot of turnovers. We just couldn't make shots. And then they went on their run. We called a timeout, couldn't score. They continued to go on their run. But at the same time, those guys competed from start to finish. I think Nate and PJ played 40 minutes, and even with them not coming off the floor, they were still on the floor active and just playing hard. And that's something I haven't seen, from those guys collectively, even with the limited amount of guys that we've had on the floor, do that in a while. So however Coach Tang did it, we don't know at the end of the day. But whatever he did to prepare those guys going into Houston, they played their tails off. So whatever he did, it worked. Now, did it translate to a win? No. But is it a moral victory in a way? Yes, because now you can think about the last, 8 games that's left in Big 12 play on, okay, all right, guys gave effort. Now let's build on that. So, like you said, Clint, hopefully that's something that they continue to do, going into tomorrow, and matching that same energy that they had on Saturday.
You guys see who's popping in here on the chat?
Yeah, Jam Slam.
You guys roll?
My brother. Jim,
45 plus, that's crazy.
Look, Ryan, I don't know why you quoted that one out of all of them.
In fairness, he called you guys legends. So
yes.
Speaking of legends, GOATs, as Clent Stewart said, Jacob Poland had him on the show, and he mentioned it. You lose by 13, 14 points if it's just a bad game.
Right.
You lose by 30 points if you don't give a crap. And J.O., you saw it firsthand, a team that fought. And did Jerome Tang's message maybe come too little too late? Yeah, I think that's fair to say. But you know what? It did work for that time being. You just wish you could have had that type of effort. That should have been the standard all year long.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I could agree with that. I think that as far as his talking points go, I thought what he said was great. I enjoyed what he said. I thought what he said was needed. I also feel like what he said, I didn't see anything that can have any cause for his firing. I'm being honest. I don't see what he said that can cause them to point out things in his contract that can cause him to be fired. But that's neither here nor there. I let his legal team and K-State deal with that. But as far as just looking at the whole big picture of it, I think that what we got to understand is that the NIL era is going to cause a lot of instability, and it's going to cause a little bit of ruffles in everyone's journey, especially for coaches. You know what I mean? And we have to now grasp that and have an understanding of what to expect when it comes from a university and what to expect from coaches. I mean, I know wins and losses is definitely wins going to save a coach's job, losses is going to take a coach's job. I can get that. But now what we have is that there's so much pressure, and this pressure is aligning with the fans and donors and all these different fractions that impacts, the university and what the university sees a coach being in that seat. I think we have to look at that and have to understanding that everything won't be perfect, but let's try to have some grace when it comes to how we move with our coaches. Let's have some grace with how we move with the players, and let's hold everyone accountable for sure. But we got to hold the coaches. You got to hold the players accountable just as the coaches. The effort. It doesn't matter what scouting report was laid out to us when we played. We was gonna come out with 100% effort, and we was gonna do what it needed to either stay in the game or at least have a fight to win the game. And that effort comes just from your leadership and the players, flat out. When it comes to culture and it comes to X's and O's, I get that part. But some of the things that I was seeing during some of the losses, especially at home, particularly at home, comes down to the effort that's shown from the players. And, a lot of that has to do with the pride that a player has and them understanding what purple mean. I get that, but that's when, us as a community and all of us that's on this panel have to for the next journey, whoever comes next, we have to have at least more access to have the ability to relay certain messages to the players that they need to hear in order to keep that purple pride alive. You know what I mean? Does that make sense?
Yeah, I'm with you. And guys, we talk about Tang's messaging and the comments that he made. Everybody can have their own opinion there. Tay, what do you think about Abdi and Nate, players doing the scout? I mean, Kansas State, pretty competitive in this game with the players doing the scout.
Yeah, Tay.
We're on. I'm gonna be complete. I'm gonna be completely honest with this conversation. We're applauding them for losing by 14. That's not what we are, guys. I'm not taking nothing away from them. I met those guys this past summer, and I think they're great kids. We are sitting on here, and we are happy we lost by 14. That I don't do moral victories personally, and that's not gonna get you nowhere in life, on or off the court. It's not gonna get you any type of championship, whether it's national championship, Big 12 regular season, Big 12 tournament. We're on here applauding these kids for winning by 14. That is terrible to me, and I'm just to be completely honest with that. I don't want to take nothing away from them. I know they probably put a lot of energy and effort in, and the coaches have all season, and they wanted to switch it up and try something different. We had no names on the jersey and all of those things. I get it. We lost by 14 still, and that's just how I feel about it.
So I wouldn't say applauding for losing by 14. I would say I was genuinely
satisfied with the effort,
considering the circumstance,
mm-hmm.
considering what Cincinnati just did to us at home. I didn't know how we were going to come out against Houston, a team that was supposed to beat us by what was the line, 20 plus.
Yeah,
and that you would say, hey, if we lost, if we were going to lose a game by 30 on the on the road at a place this year, if you had to pick one team that could even
Houston.
happen to, it would be Houston. So I wouldn't say I'm applauding by 14, but given that we lost by Cincinnati in a game where I thought that we were disinterested in even competing, and which is unacceptable, and the guys responding after being challenged by Tang, which again, that's where I think you kind of find as a player, like, what is your real resolve? Because if the coach challenges you, like, now, okay, are you just gonna like, all right, F it, I'm done, right? Or are you gonna say, you know what? Yeah, I'm a man. Like, I'm gonna buck up and I'm gonna go play, right? And I'm gonna go give everything I have. And I can give a personal example of when Coach Huggins came in to Kansas State. I was not one of Coach Huggins' his recruits, right? He brought in Murder Maybank. He brought in Jermaine Maybank. He brought in.
His first name is Murder.
We call him Murder. Yeah.
Okay.
Jermaine
Your nickname.
Maine Maybank. Blake Young. Obviously, Luis Colon, Chris Merriweather, and Jason Bennett. I think those might have been the 5 guys that came in during that time. But Maybank and Blake Young were the point guards that he brought in during that time. And Coach Huggins made it very clear to me. I was coming off of an injury, and he made it very clear, you are not my guy. You have started here the last 2 years at the point guard spot. You are now 3rd on the depth chart, right? And it was like, okay. I mean, he flat out said it. You are not my guy. You're 3rd on the depth chart. I brought in 2 point guards to take your spot, right? And so at that point in time is when I had to make a decision where I could either say, hey, I'm leaving because I don't want to, it's a new coach. I could have left. I'm out, right? Or, you know what? I'm going to show you that I'm your guy, right? And so, but that was part of the resolve that I had to go through of like, all right, cool. That's cool. I'm going to bust their tail every single day in practice. Like, I'm going to get better. They're going to get better. And I'm going to show you that I deserve to be on the basketball court. And by Big 12 season, I was a starting point guard for that team my junior year, right? It doesn't take anything away from Maybank and from Blake. And Blake obviously started as well. But I knew that I had a sense of pride in myself and my ability that I wasn't going to let, coach challenging me was going to actually fueled me like, all right, cool, I'm going to prove you wrong. Yeah. Right. And I think that's what I saw from the guys is like, they got challenged and they actually came out and brought the effort that, no, it's not good enough. And yeah, we expect to win, and Tay, as you kind of mentioned, like, yeah, I mean, we want to compete for Big 12 championships, national championships, be in the tourney every single year. Like, that's what we expect. But I was happy to see that, like, those guys didn't just fold, because I thought, to be honest, some of them were just going to fold. Like, all right, F it, and I didn't see that type of effort.
And I wasn't completely like, I like what you said, Tay. Like, you're absolutely right. But it was, to me, if they came with the same level of effort against Houston and they came with Cincinnati, then we'll have a better chance of winning that game. Like, no, especially at home, like, no question. Energy rising, like, crowd at home. To play the way they play on the road like that, like I said, it shows some resolve. It shows some resiliency. And just to piggyback, well, to rebuttal what Clent said, it's tough now, Clent. You know what I mean? Like, nowadays it's a little different, and that's where the state of college basketball is at. And that's what's kind of scary in a way. Like, for you personally, you could have quit, but you didn't have enough boats to hop on and just leave. You kind of had to burn your boat, stay where you at, and really grind. Or you either take sitting out a year, or you take packing up your stuff and starting all over again and have to worry about that. Now dudes leave one place and make more money at another place.
Get a bigger bag, right?
So now, some guys for sure they don't have to sit out. So it's like I don't have to stay here because I don't have no punishment or nothing holding me back from staying here. You know what I mean? Or from leaving here, excuse me. So it's tough. That resiliency and resolve has to come from a certain mindset that the entitlement and the things that these kids get these days, it doesn't allow that in a lot of ways, or it doesn't push that, I would say. So
yeah, no doubt.
Couple comments, guys. Real quick. This one's awesome. Clent, point guard. I think me and Tay were a couple good guards, and then Kurt, you're at the 4, J.O. at the 5. We could team up. I think we could be competitive. Just
might
saying.
be able to beat this team that they have on the roster right
We'll be honest. I think I'm the only one that actually plays basketball consistently nowadays.
Oh, you guys don't see me at the rec here in Manhattan. Come on.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
Listen, man, you pay me a good little 250, 300 NIL. I'm
Give me about a month, I'm good.
gonna give you everything I got for sure.
I'm good for one
Stage
game. I
two,
got one
I'll give
game.
you everything.
Appreciate you, Scott. Once again, man. $50 donation. You're the man.
Oh, Scotty.
Just because
What is the man?
Scotty.
What's
Just
up,
because you got Tatum.
I love you, Scott.
Scott is my guy. Scott is like I'm like Scott's son. He never got because he has 2 girls. Me and Scott is my guy. Shout out Scott.
Purple rain.
yeah. You guys are all 4 of you are going to be involved, yeah? Once again.
Yeah.
Yes.
There you
that's
go.
the plan.
There you go.
Plan.
Well, we have some questions about Tay. He tried to resign today on FaceTime before we got on the live. But I think he was joking. So
I mean,
Tay
you need
is
that. He's the
joking.
only one playing right now, allegedly.
He's one of the founding fathers, man. He's not
I'm not
going.
going to play. But listen, I will say this. I just thought of something, and I know that injuries have played a part in our season this year. But one thing I've questioned, it's hard to question it because of the injuries, but this isn't the same basketball team that lost to Nebraska.
Mm.
The team that lost to Nebraska was an NCAA team, in my opinion.
Yeah.
I watched that game in totality from start to finish, and they was a unit that night. Now, granted, we've lost, I don't know what the number is now, like 6 or 7 players since then, I would say. But that's the type of effort day in and day out in a gauntlet like the Big 12 that I would expect. So when I hear, or when I see, I should say, when I'm watching and they lose by 14, I get, that's an improvement. Losing by 23 games in a row, or losing at home by 30, all of those are like just absolutely horrible. It makes me wonder what is going on with the players internally that's gotten them from where they were to now where they're at. Like, where have you basketball, as like a lot of us have, endured certain journeys. Basketball is going to take you through a wave of emotions, but how do you fight those emotions and stay even killed through all the way to March, basically? And you look up and you got 20 wins and you're going to the tournament. Like, I just don't understand how we went from that. Outside of injuries, I get that, but from that to where we're at. And that's what concerns me.
this is when we got called soft on national television.
Well, I think a lot of that, as Tay, as you're mentioning, player leadership, man. And when you have, as we all know, right, we've all been that guy, right? You don't get to play high level college basketball unless you were that guy in high school, right?
Right.
You get to college, and some of you guys were a lot more of that guy than what I was, right? But I still had a voice from a senior perspective and a steady voice. But when you have the best player on a team is that guy, and there's also a really good leader, that's where, a lot of the really good teams have some of that, right? Because naturally, as we know, when you're the best player on the team, guys kind of like they gravitate towards that because what? You're gonna have the ball the most, right? You're gonna get a lot of stuff run for you, right? And so, like, if you are a natural leader from a vocal standpoint, from a play hard standpoint, from a locked in every single day standpoint, as a point guard, you make guys around you better standpoint, like. It can be contagious, right? And I don't feel like that we have a leader, right? As far as someone that's taken that lead from a player standpoint, that guys really can rally around, and maybe there are some guys that have tried it and it's fallen on deaf ears, but you definitely don't see that, like, hey, guys are really rallying around the guys, and we've talked about how, even Coach Tang mentioned, like, man, these guys, they love each other off the court, but on the court, they don't say nothing to each other. They don't talk. They don't communicate. They don't act like they don't like each other, right? Like, and that's a problem, right? Like, what on the court, we got to be connected. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, we got to be off the court's connected. That's great. But to get wins, you got to be connected on the court, right? And we just haven't had that. right? I think that's where we really lacked it, not only this year, but also last year. And you look at the year we made the Elite Eight, guess what? We had Marquise Noel, great leader, right? Like vocal, played hard, like got guys going, and so it makes a huge difference when you have that.
So when you have somebody like a PJ Haggerty, who's not very vocal, he's more based on his performance. Me and Tay can relate to that because Rodney Magruder was the same way. Rodney Magruder was not the vocal leader, but me and Tay were. Angel was. Like, guys picked up on those things that Rod didn't have. Rod led by performance. You know what I mean? Like, Rod led by his effort and energy and practice every day, trying to win every sprint. Like, that's the way he challenged us, and that's how he made everybody better. But me and Tay knew, as somebody that basically grew up with him in college, like, when it's our turn, we're going to have to be the vocal guys on this team. And that's the leadership that we took on. And it paid off well. You know what I mean? So, like, for guys not to, when you have somebody like PJ, who's, I'm not going to say he's not trying to lead. I'm pretty sure he was trying to lead. And guys that did not really kind of like backpack off of him, off of his energy and his performance, it's sad to see because he's out there playing hard from start to finish. He don't come out of the game. You know what I mean? So, like, but at the same time, if he's not making plays for others, if other guys don't feel involved, I can see why guys may step back and feel some kind of way. I don't know if those guys really love each other off the court. I know Coach Tang said it, but like, it just doesn't make sense to me how you can be so close and connected off the court, but then on the court, you can't even talk on defense. Like, but just make that make sense to me. Like, it doesn't make sense to me. Like, it doesn't seem logical at all. Like, at all. You know what I mean? Like, you can tell when somebody rocks with each other off the court based on how they communicate and talk to one another on the court. Like, you can also fake the funk too. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can not like a guy off the court, but you're gonna have his back on the court because you want to win basketball games. So I don't necessarily believe all of those guys was connected off the court. For all I know, the way NIL is, dudes is probably in the locker room counting each other's pockets. I'm not saying that's what's happening, but like, the way dudes is acting on the court by not communicating, not calling out a ball screen, not calling out a switch. Like, how can I believe that y'all are boys off the court? It don't seem logical to me. Like, if Tay and I are best friends off the court, which is true, and Tay gets blasted on the screen and I don't call him out on it, and I don't call the screen out, he got every right to punch me right in my chest on national television. You know why? Because he's holding me accountable. But he can hold his friend accountable, same way he's going to hold his teammate accountable. So, like, I don't know. I just don't believe that they boys and close friends off the court. Like, it's just hard to believe.
Yeah,
that's just my 2 cents on it.
It's tough to
rotate your camera, Kels.
Huh?
You gotta rotate your camera, brother.
Like where?
It looks good to me.
Yeah, what you talking about, bro? You trying to say, like, you
oh
good?
no, it says Fitz. I don't know. I don't see Kels.
Fitz is
backstage. I don't really know what Fitz is doing in here, but he's backstage.
I thought Kels jumped. My bad. Fitz was good, baby.
Way to go, Fitz.
I think it's tough because you could be boys off the court, but to be family is different. You know what I mean? Like, we was family, so like we knew to hold each other accountable because we spent time with each other off the court. We built a family bond. That family bond translated on the court. I mean, I think you can hang out with someone, but hanging out with someone is cool, but it has to be a different rapport with someone that you call family and that you really trying to build something with. And the other thing is, I think that's why retaining is so important. Like it's important to have guys that's returners or multiple guys that's returners, because the torch keeps being passed on. Like, the culture, and you have guys on your team that know the culture, then they can pass that culture on to someone else. Where if you don't have a strong leader or someone that comes in as the alpha dog and strong leader, then that never happens. Like me, Paul, and even Rodney, like those guys return and wind up being guys that passed the torch down. Then it was J.O. Tay and Rod turn. Then they passed it down. Like, so it just continues to pass down. Whereas if you just have new guys to the roster and the guys that you retain really wasn't prominent in their roles the year prior, it's tough. You know what I'm saying? So that's why retaining is super important. It's big time to get, and that's one of the things I think that went wrong along the journey. You know what I mean? I think we should have retained guys like Ishmael Masou. Ishmael Masou seen what Tang can do, and he could pass that down to the guy. Or Cam Carter, you know, like Cam was big on our team, and he was a big piece on our team, and then he left. So when you continue to have new guys come in, there's no one to continue to pass that culture down. And stuff like not communicating becomes, you know, a regular thing, because the new guys coming in don't know the culture. They don't know, like, yo, we talk every time. Because I've been in those practices, my guys. I seen Coach Tang work. I seen his staff work, and they teach those things. Like, these are things that is being taught. So you're right, Tay. Like, where are we missing at? Like, what's missing here? Like, why is these things not being taught, but it's not shown towards impact and winning, and when it's live, when it's right in front of our faces? So it's tough, man. You know, but retaining is important.
It's important, but there's other programs that's out here with a complete different roster and it's winning games too, Kels. Not every team that's having success is retaining guys year by year. Like,
name them.
Why do I need to name them? You think every team that's having success in college basketball right now are retaining players? No way.
The ones that I can think of that's top 20 and top 15, top 10, UConn retained their players. Houston, BYU even got guys that came back. Kansas got guys that came back. You want me to keep going?
I mean, Houston and UConn, they don't even scratch the surface of our NIL. Like, they're not, so it's not that hard to retain guys.
What you mean scratch the surface? Like, they're getting more money?
No, they're not getting more money. We getting more money.
Right. That's why retaining is that's why it's important to retain. They're still getting guys that come back to their programs, even though they're not paying them a lot of money. That speaks volumes of the program and their belief in the coach and the culture. Like if you look at all the top 10 schools, like most of them has guys that has returned. And if I could I just bring up the top NCAA basketball teams in the country right now.
You really got us looking like 45-year-olds, Kevin.
That's look at these boomers in here, man.
Kind of like a typewriter going on.
Sounds like a nice keyboard.
Dude, is literally almost 40.
Iowa State for sure return guys. Purdue for sure return guys. Nebraska return guys. Illinois, that may be one team that didn't return a whole bunch of people, because I know they got a lot of European players this year, but maybe some. Gonzaga return guys. Florida, Texas Tech, Michigan State, North Carolina, St. John's, they all return prominent guys.
Mm-hmm.
So you know, it's tough to start over, and the guys that usually start over and do that is probably like coaches that's been around for like a first year you in the building, you know what I mean? And it's easier for guys to believe in your culture when you're first year in than being there for 5 years, and now people that's coming to your program want to see what's going on. Let me see what you've been cooking. Like when Tang first came and me being on that staff with him his first year, I think the way that team was built was destined for the results he had, because he had guys who, when you preach his message and you hear his message, you'll fall in love with it, knowing the things you went through prior. Marquise Newell is 5'9", never got really a big opportunity to play on a super stage, and now he has a great opportunity. So when you preach about God and being a good man, and like karma is real, like if you put in the work you put in will come back to you, he's gonna believe in that. Keontae, he almost died. It's the person that almost died, like literally. So when you preach certain things to him that's a part of your culture, he's gonna believe in it. Desi came from Arkansas State, came from a mid-major, was at a high major at one point in Arkansas, then dropped down to come back up. So when you say certain things to him, he's seen what it's like to be on a high major, and he's hungry to relive the things he didn't do as a guy that was at a high major stage. Like it's just those guys like took in his culture, his teaching, a little different from a Coleman Hawkins who Brad, won everything with Brad. You know what I'm saying? Or Doug, who came from Michigan. You pay him the bag, and maybe he don't want to hear that. Maybe that's not his vibe. He just want to.
What about staff members that should have been retained?
Yeah, I mean,
we talk about culture.
Yeah, I mean, you making me sweat a little bit, bro. What you mean?
Look, so I'll say this. I'll say this about that, because I've gone on and said some stuff about this, especially at a high major program, and a lot of the high major programs have this on their staff. But I am a big believer. You look at you take KU for instance. All right, they have Jeremy Case as their associate head coach. They have, I think, the Robinson kid might be their video guy, and they have another coach I believe who also played at KU. Like having someone who played at that school on staff at some level, right? And you guys have been GAs, whether it's GA, whether it's player development, whether it's video coordinator, whether it's assistant coach. I think is important. It doesn't mean you have to have a full staff of guys, but like having someone that says, hey, this guy bleeds this school and this university. He went through what you guys are going through right here in this same town, and can talk to you guys and can help you through the things that you might be going through just because he actually lived it in this town. I think is invaluable. I mean, that's just my personal opinion. That I think that every high major Division I staff should have someone at some level, whether it's, as I mentioned, it could be the GA level, could be the player development, the DOBO, assistant coach at some level should have someone that's connected to that staff, and that's not just because, we need, but like someone that is a good fit and that makes sense as well, right? I mean, not just because you're checking a box, but like, no, this actually makes sense. They know what they're talking about. They can help the program, not only help the program from a coaching standpoint, but also can help these players. I just think it's important.
Absolutely, especially now. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, Clint. Yeah, especially now. It's needed. It's needed.
It's needed. It was needed in the past. We had somebody on that staff that was a former player.
And then
locked in a part of that. It was a huge, huge factor in a part of that success of keeping those guys together between being in the locker room.
That's why you my brother, man. I appreciate it. It was a pleasure, and it was an honor to even be on a. You've been there, so you've been a GA. You've been GA 2 years like I was. To work with Weber was an honor. Work with Tang was an honor. To be part of both staffs and have an impact is an honor. And I agree with y'all. I think that the impact that I did have on that team is a blessing. You know what I mean? To bridge the gap. That's the biggest thing, Clint. Like you bridge, that's the bridge of gap right there. I introduced those guys to Tay and to Jo, to you, and we got them mingling. You know what I mean? Jo and the rest of the guys and Tay supported, came back a lot, and got to mingle with the staff. Like just to be a bridge of that gap was wonderful. And then as far as recruiting, everything was beautiful to be a part of. You're right. I think that moving forward, and you guys could speak to this, moving forward, we got to have some connection with former players that has a bigger impact than it was prior. And not just saying that they all looked out for us. Like the staff did have open arms to us, you know what I mean? And Bailey, shout out to Bailey being on that staff was big for them as well. But to have someone that played it, put the uniform on, was big. So, you know what I mean? Let's vote for, what's up, Jo, GM, you know what I mean? Like, another joint, Clent.
Man. I love the sound of it.
You know what I mean?
I love the sound of it for sure. But, I would love to see a former player in that head coaching seat, just full transparency. I would love to see that. There's multiple guys out there that.
Who you have in mind?
So let's talk about potential replacements, right? And I have a couple in mind as well. And Jay, I know you have some thoughts, so Jay, I'll let you kind of start off. Just potential replacements.
Obviously, I'm a huge advocate of seeing a former player on staff, whether, it's a head coach or whether they're coming in as an assistant. I truly believe whoever the next head coach is, if it's not a former player, needs to have a former player on that staff, whether it's at the bottom of the totem pole, high up, whatever it is, cool. I feel like, somebody that is ready is a Shane Southwell, who has been in the game for about 8 to 9 years in this coaching field, who retired early, who can relate to guys, who is literally somebody that can pick up the phone, can go see you in person, and can have a conversation with you and relate and walk in your home, and he can relate to you. You know what I mean? Like somebody like him who is ready. You know what I mean? That's somebody who I feel that could come in, who's done it, who's won a Big 12 championship as a player, who's won a Big 12 championship as a coach, who also has won a gold medal with Team USA, with guys that are max contract players right now in the NBA. His resume, his championship pedigree, his resume alone just says enough on him. Should be a guy that could potentially get a call. You think about a guy like Brad Underwood. I don't know how expensive he is, but Brad Underwood is a former player. You know what I'm saying? Brad Underwood is a former player. He's somebody that who loves Kansas. Loves K-State. He believes purple. But he's doing his thing at Illinois, and that is a tough,
Nice.
tough feather to ruffle over there. So, to see somebody like him, even a non-K-Stater who was a part of the culture of winning under Coach Weber, Brad Korn, somebody who's getting it done at SEMO right now. He's been consistent over there. And for somebody like him, if he's available, why not, make the phone call. But at the end of the day, the committee, whoever they hire, search firm, is going to have their guys that, they may want to explore. Gene may have some guys in mind. I don't know, but we'd love to see a former player in that seat. And top of the totem pole for me is Shane Southwell, who is ready to take on that role and to be the face of men's basketball here at Kansas State.
So I'll piggyback off of that, and obviously, I love Shane as well. I think obviously if he got that opportunity, that'd be amazing, not only for him but also for just former players. He's obviously proven he's a great coach and knows what he's doing, can recruit as well. Another former player, as I started kind of thinking, all right, who are the former players? You mentioned Brad. I think Coach Underwood leaving Illinois would be a very high dollar. But once again, he might be he's 62, I believe, and so if he was going to come back to Kansas State, this might be the last chance, right? Like this would be the time to say, I'm going to go finish out my coaching career, at Kansas State. So you never know. So I think you obviously have to give him a call. Another guy that I haven't heard and didn't have a great stint at UTSA, but is a former player, is Steve Henson. He's assistant coach at Baylor, so he'll actually be there tomorrow night. Assistant at Baylor, was an assistant at Oklahoma, obviously the all-time assist leader in Kansas State history, and really haven't heard his name thrown around. But I'm just trying to think through like what other former players are obviously in the field that could possibly be head coaches. But I like there's a lot of talk around Utah State, Calhoun, and SLU's head coach as well. I mean, those guys are going to have opportunities. I like some guys that maybe have no chance of getting, but when you talk about younger guys, Shane Southwell's a younger guy, right? You talk about a guy like Kellen Sampson, who's in the waiting for Kelvin's job at Houston, right? But a guy that has a lot of energy as a young guy. And now would he leave? Would he give up Houston to come here? Well, probably not. But I definitely think just the energy from a young guy coming in here and bringing that, I think, would be really good. And another guy I had in my mind as well, and probably just because this will ruffle all the feathers. That's why I got to throw it out there, because it's funny, because I have a really good relationship. I mentioned Jeremy Case, the associate head coach for KU. All right, now this is one of my guys. I'm really good friends with Jeremy Case. He's always going to be looking for a head coaching job. It's not going to be Kansas State, but I was like, man, wouldn't that be some feathers ruffled if he was a guy, right?
Hey, Clint, man, not to cut you off, Clint, man. Me and Jeremy Case got a special bond, man.
There you go.
When that altercation happened at KU, what they like to call a brawl. Me and my dog was in them trenches, man. We was in them trenches together, breaking that up. So, man, shout out to Jeremy, man. Good dude,
Good dude,
man.
There's some coaches out there, and then we'll have to see how it all shakes out. And obviously, if you get a former player, whether that's at the head coach or at least on staff somewhere, I think that's important.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna say I'm not even gonna I'm not even gonna be the person that sugarcoats this, because we're talking about, as Curtis Kelly would say, we put in pain with this guy, and we put on a jersey with this guy. So let's go down, because I got some written notes.
Yeah.
And I'm saying this from a standpoint of there is a lot of there's a lot of positive that can come from it. I've seen Shane's names on on X, Twitter, a lot. I understand that for these last 4 years, leading the beginning of it, obviously hiring Coach Tang, who was an assistant at Baylor for as long as he was. A lot of people want head coaching experience, and then also, I've heard Gene in his press conference say, that's one of the main things that they're looking at, head coaching experience. But all head coaches start somewhere. All head coaches don't have Colin Klein don't have no head coaching experience. We'll welcome him with open arms. Now, I understand his background. Colin is one of, in my opinion, probably top 3 athletes to ever, put on purple at K-State.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't want my guy Shane to not get, at the very least, a call. So I will go down my list of things with Shane Southwell. At K-State, Big 12 champion as a player and a coach. He recruited Marquise Noel, who we all love, who had one of the greatest seasons as a point guard ever.
And Ish.
Excuse me, I'm sorry.
And Max, who killed on the mid-major level as well.
Max Edwards.
Max.
Yes.
So there you go. Those are people that I did not add to this, but you can add those too.
New York Lightning. My bad. We could. Yeah.
He helped K-State reach the Elite Eight in 2017-18. He mentored 3 all Big 12 honorees, including Nigel Pack. At Robert Morris, the 2019-2020 season, regular season and tournament champ as an assistant. As Gio mentioned, with USA Basketball under 19 gold medal World Cup, he served as the video coordinator and assistant with Coach Weber on that. At NIU, he was an associate head coach.
Mm-hmm.
He brought David Court to the program, who reached 1,000 points in 2 seasons, who's now at Maryland, who will probably be a first or second team All-American.
National Player of the Week.
National Player of the Week.
2-time Big Ten Player of the Week as well.
Correct.
Yes,
and
sir.
then also at Northwestern currently, for next year, he will be bringing in the school's highest recruit in history. So if we have any questions about recruiting, that shouldn't be a problem. As close as I am to Shane, we live together. I know a lot. I know my friends, and I know the ones that are smart in basketball, and I know the ones that are not. And Shane has a brain for the game of basketball if it's about X's and O's. And then we have to think about it from a monetarily standpoint. This is not a guy that's going to come in looking for $4 or $5 million. Say, for instance, like a Brad Underwood, who is expensive to get him from Illinois. So it could work out in everybody's favor. You have a guy that put on this jersey. You got a guy who loves purple, clearly. And someone that bleeds purple, someone that loves the school, someone that was there for 4 years, someone that has that understands the culture and all of those things. At the very least, I would say if Gene Taylor is on this call, he should at the very least get a phone call, at the very least. And that's all I have to say about that.
Yeah, that was beautiful. And I agree with you. I just got it's only really, I'm gonna get to Shane, but it's only 2 guys that I would think, for the splash reasons would make sense. Of course, Brad, but it's impossible to get Brad. Like we gotta stop. Like it's just not happening, guys. Like Brad is too expensive, and to leave somewhere like Illinois will be tough for him. chance. You know, it'll be tough for him with the money that's on the line and everything. K-State will be paying a lot of bread for a long time, and that will affect some things. But some of the bigger names, I would think, I like what Clent said. Calhoun, you know, Utah State. I think his record is really good. He has a beautiful record, and he has some. I like the defensive ideals that he has. I really like that. And then there's Josh Schwartz from St. Louis.
Yep.
I like him a lot. You know, he's proven at Indiana State, and then now he's making St. Louis one of the best teams in the A10. And then I got a small list, guys. And then it's Shane Southwell. And I'm gonna go quick why I think Shane would make sense. Like, he should for sure get an interview just to help him continue to grow. He should for sure get it. But this is why I think that it would make sense to hire him. First of all, he's K-State DNA. You know what I mean? Like, he's not an outsider. He played there. Like, Tay already ran down the accolades he has had as a coach and a player. So he has impacted winning on a K-State stage for multiple years in multiple different roles as a player and coach. The recruiting energy for sure. Like, when Shane becomes a head coach, I think one of the things that will be highlighted about him is the fact that he's going to get phenomenal players because he knows talent. He's good at evaluating talent, and he has enough connections and people rooting for him to get that talent. And in this NIL era, like, recruiting is at the top of the list as far as what you need. Also, continuality without ego. All right, so we moved on from 2 coaches, right? Like, we moved on from Webb. He was there for what, 10? How long Webb there?
10 years.
We moved Coach Tang. Unfortunately, what happened with him it sickens me, but you know, it's moving on with him, and he had a short tenure. So what I think is that the program needs some stability more than they need a splash, and hiring a former Wildcat gives perception of like unity instead of like a reset. It basically says that, like, all right, this time around we're going with someone that's familiar to us and someone we can ride with that's young. And then put like Tay said it, the developmental player development background. He's been a part of plenty of guys in their player development. He's really good at that. And then the last part really is just, you know, the risk versus reward. I think he's not a proven coach at the Power 5 level, and that's a gamble. But, you know, sometimes it's best to have alignment over resume, and he aligns with K-State more so than any other coach we named. You know what I mean? And if K-State wants to like have a culture flash or a long-term thing, or someone who can bleed purple, Shane makes the most sense. And if they want a credibility splash, then of course they're gonna go another direction. But if you want to turn things around, especially now here's the thing, guys. And Ryan, I'll let you take it over. And this is what I need you to.
All good.
No. I need you to talk to me about this, right? Especially after what goes on with K-State and the things that goes on as far as Tang, you know, bring the lawyers involved and all that. That could become tricky getting your next head coach, you know, because now the next head coach is going to evaluate everything that went on with Tang. Fans coming with the bags over their head, like all these things is going to come into play when you talk about someone leaving another program where they have stability to come to K-State, where they may look at it being more of a risk due to Coach Tang only being there for 4 years. Also, some people may look at how Coach Weber was down to his last contract, right? Had 498 wins?
97.
Like that? And again, Clent?
I think 97. 497.
Yeah, 497 wins, and he was down to his last contract. And we moved on from that after this guy brought us two Big 12 conference championships and went to 5 tournament appearances and Elite 8, correct?
Yep.
So now Ryan, you answer this for me. If I'm a head coach at a program where I'm very loved and, you know, the money of course plays a part, and of course the things that K-State has on the table is phenomenal. But with that, in your mind and your ideology, would that play a part with moving from that to K-State with everything that's going on with K-State?
Yeah, I mean, stability, the word you used was, and there's somebody in the comments as well, like Kansas State does need stability. Instead of that home run hire, that splash hire, like you said, Kurt, just go out and get something stable, because Jerome Tang, it was up here, year number one, and then it, back-to-back losing seasons to end it. You mentioned it, 5 NCAA tournament trips for Bruce. His down years were not pretty, though. You've got to have a 19-20 win season, guys, being the floor of your program, right?
Yep.
Sorry, not to dodge you, Kurt, but
No. You're right. Absolutely. Not to not hold them accountable for that. No question. So let me ask y'all guys this though.
Yeah, don't ask me. Ask your teammates, and I'm just here to look good.
So let me ask you guys. I like that, Ryan. I like that. So let me ask you guys this, and all y'all can answer. All right. So moving forward, right? When you think about the picture of K-State and we already talked about who we want to be and what we need moving forward, right? So when you put all that together in one pot, what is the key to make the fans of K-State, you think, happy and sustain a good coach that's going to stay there for years to come? Because a lot of coaches that we have, and what's the longest tenure in the past 20 years? Maybe it is Weber. Correct?
Weber, 10 years. To answer that question, I think it's pretty simple. It's hiring a former player. I don't think, now in the past, our fans have turned on anybody. But I think it'll take some time for them to turn on one of our own. Even if we don't go with a former player. That's why it is significant. Whoever that next head coach is needs to hire a former player, so that if it goes left, at least you got a former player on that staff, and maybe the fans, maybe it buys some time. Maybe they give us some grace. Because as much as they fans love us, our fans love us, a bad season could turn things around in their own perspective and how they put it out on to the media and whatnot, and even in person, coming to games. So I think hiring a former player is almost the way to go, so that you give your fans reassurance that, all right, the future does look bright. You bringing in somebody young. I mean, maybe outside of like a Brad Underwood, who's up there in age, to keep guys happy. But I also feel like that is almost the new wave. It has been like the last 5 years, is hiring young head coaches. You know what I mean? Like, now, granted, we've seen other stories around the country this year. Not going to speak on it, but like where fans are turning on young head coaches too. But at the same time, if that person's not a former player, I don't think we've seen that either from a head coaching standpoint, being at a university and the fans turning. I just haven't seen it. So, we've seen, I've had people here in Manhattan, where Manhattan looked like Bramlage when Colin Klein was announced. And I'm not talking about Colin Klein being announced at the Seton Hall game. Colin Klein being announced in Manhattan in the Little Apple last minute. It seems like everybody drove from everywhere out of the state of Kansas to be there that night. So I would expect the same energy on former player that's being hired. But that's just my opinion on it.
So I think the fans can relate and can connect to people that have put the jersey on, whether at whatever sport. And so we talk about Colin Klein, like 100%, right? Like Colin Klein doesn't get the Kansas State job if his name wasn't, like if his name was Colin Spine, right? I'd be like, we don't care, right?
Right.
But the fact that it's Colin Klein and he put this jersey on, he had the blood, sweat, and tears, gave everything he could to this university, like people are excited because they watched it, they've seen it, they can connect to it, they can relate to it. He stands for what Kansas State, the university, stands for, like the hard work, the work ethic, the putting in that blood, sweat, everything you have, like. So yes, people connect to that. Like that's where, as you meant, both of you guys have mentioned, like a former player, the fans can connect to it, which that draws them to that relationship of like, okay, we know that they have the best interest for this university because we've already seen it, right? Like we have no ifs, ands, or doubts about it, and so I think that's definitely something that can reconnect our fan base right now. I'll be honest, right now, it's a broken relationship from a basketball standpoint. I mean, when fans are bringing bags to their over their faces at games, and it becomes a national televised event, like it's a broken relationship, right? And so how do we amend that relationship? Yeah, you can bring in a coach from outside, that's great, but you have to get someone that they can connect to and that they can relate to help amend that relationship. And then of course you got to win. When you win, everyone loves winning, right? So that winning, I said winning cures all. Like it's just the way it is. But I definitely think, if you bring in someone like a Shane Southwell, it's very similar to Colin Klein, right? You get someone where the guys, they know like, hey, he has the best interest for this university. If not, then you definitely get a player on staff because the fans can relate to that. And I think that can help them in that relationship.
Not to say that Matthew Driscoll should be one of your guys' candidates, but to pivot a little bit here for these next regular season games, it is going to be Matthew Driscoll. JL, I can start with you here. Like, you're going to be in attendance. Are you looking for anything in particular, or you just want to see that same fight that you saw against Houston?
Definitely want to see that same fight against Houston, but man, I'm a huge Driscoll fan, man. I played against him, when we was at North Florida. North Florida came into Bramlage, and they took us down to the wire, literally. I remember Jamar Samuels blocking that shot in the corner. If that shot went in, that might have been our only bad loss in Bramlage throughout our tenure. Maybe Iowa State, my freshman year, that messed up our 1 seed. But Iowa State had all Big 12 guys. But nah, man, I'm excited to see Driscoll in that seat. Obviously, it's unfortunate that Coach Tang couldn't finish the season out. But nah, man, I'm a huge Driscoll fan, and the support is still going to be here. The love is still going to be here. It's genuine, and I want them guys to go out there and fight. Because I know Driscoll's going to match that energy, and I know he's going to come in and have those guys prepared going against Baylor, who was also on that coaching staff when we played against them with Tang. So, just knowing like Driscoll over the years and just now putting a name to the face and meeting him in person over the summer, I know what he's all about, and he's about winning. You know what I mean? So I know he's going to come and coach his tail off, to finish out this season. And, if he can help turn this thing around within the last, 7 games we have left, get that man an interview too, man, because he's going to work his tail off to deserve it.
Yeah, I agree. We obviously all met Driscoll over the summer, and the number one thing that stood out to me was just his high energy. I mean, he brought energy. If you can't feed off the energy he brings, then you probably need to look yourself in the mirror. And reevaluate yourself. Because he definitely brings the high energy, and so he's going to have that. And he's very passionate. Passionate about basketball, passionate about guys. So I'm really hoping. What I'd like to see is hopefully from a Kansas State program standpoint, we can finish the season, at least on a good note. Obviously Coach Driscoll can obviously hopefully lead us there, and I'm looking forward to seeing how we play tomorrow night. It's ironic how some of these things work out where, as J.O. mentioned, Driscoll was part of the Baylor staff with Tang, with Coach Drew. He went off, got his own job at North Florida. Now he's coming back in his first game. He comes back here comes to Kansas State because Tang hires him, right? And then, he didn't foresee himself obviously replacing Tang in midseason. Like, that wasn't part of the plan, right? But that's what ended up just happening, and now his first game is against Baylor, right? It's just like, It's very ironic how those things kind of connect, but he has an opportunity now. Would it be ironic if we went out and we beat Baylor, right? I mean, it's just how that kind of works. So I'm really hoping the best for him and the time that he has as the interim head coach.
Kurt and Tay?
Hey, you want to go?
You got it.
Yeah, I'm excited to see the result of the game. I'm excited to see what we come to the table with. Driscoll, I like him a lot, man. I was supposed to play against him COVID year. One of our COVID years, we didn't have a chance to play against them, but that was one of my scouts. And and it was a big time scout. Like I was excited for it because he had some really good players, and he had North Florida rolling at the time when we supposed to play against them. So I'm excited for it. Plus, I have a lot of guys that's still on the staff. That's still going to be there. Anthony Winchester, um, um, my guy Carpenter, Phil. Hopefully, Jareen pops in there. Coach Perry. I have all those guys that's going to be Marco. All those guys are still going to be on that bench. So I'm rooting for them and hoping that they have good outcomes. And the other part I'm excited about seeing is just the resilience of the fans. It's a great time for the fans to show that they're going to show up and at a hard time still support the Cats, still be there for them. Because if we want to say it's about anything, it should be about our student athletes, right? So now you don't have to come with the paper bags anymore. You don't have to do that. Now we can just focus on trying to collect some wins in the last games that we have in the 12. Build some momentum for Coach Driscoll and the guys that we will want to return on that team right now. If Driscoll or a new coach, Shane, whoever comes, we still will want to retain some of those guys. Particularly my man, Clent, man, Mr. David, I would love to see him in the purple uniform next year, God willing. So yeah, man, I think it's a great opportunity for the fans to pop out, fill the arena. Why not sell it out? Why not? Why not sell it out and just continue to show those guys the utmost support and also show them, which means because a lot of eyes going to be on K-State basketball for these next few days and few months. So why not just show people around the country that K-State is resilient. We bleed purple, we love purple, and through hard times we want to support our guys. So yeah,
because that's going to be important. Sorry, before you go, Tay, that's going to be important for the next head coach. Selecting that job. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know the paper bag stuff. Like, I don't know if that was more directed towards Tang or if that was more directed towards our players. You know what I mean? Because at the same time, it's the guys out there playing the game. So I hope that's not the case. I've seen the advertisement on it. I think it's terrible for the game of basketball. I think it's terrible for the state of Kansas and what we represent in the history behind this. So I hope the fans do not come there on that timing because I personally don't want to see it myself. Like if I see that thing packed out with paper bags, I don't know if I'm gonna stay from start to finish. I prefer not to see that. Like being there at games and watching the fans, talk about not cheer for us, but they'll cheer for the opposing player to miss 2 free throws to get a free hot dog is absurd to me. Like, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
like I personally don't want to see that from our student fan base because like I know what it is to see what everybody on this call knows what it is to see what Bramlage is like, with an impactful team, a team that cares, So yeah, I hope that's not the case tomorrow.
Tay?
Kind of to piggyback what a lot of guys were saying about Driscoll. This summer when I walked in the gym and seen Driscoll, he walked up to me and he was like, "We almost got you, mother." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" He's like, I was the head coach at North Florida." I'm like, and he grabbed my hand and he shook it hard, and Driscoll had a lot of energy. So I know, even with this opportunity, he don't know how long it's going to last, or he's going to make the most of his opportunity and approach it like this is his program now. He want to go win every game. So the support is there. Have the support like I've always supported coaches. Just it starts tomorrow just to see, like Kel said, how resilient these guys are going. It's turmoil right now, but for the players, it's more so your character is really judged by how you stand up after you get hit. The program got hit right now. Losing your head coach at the mid-February, and anything. I'm a believer of anything that can happen. We are not going to the tournament with our record, but what if they make a run in the Big 12 tournament and win it or something like that? But it starts tomorrow, so that was one of those situations where it's like, let's just see how resilient you are from the top to bottom. Whoever's on the bench, whoever is putting the jersey on, it starts tomorrow.
Kurt, I wanted to ask you, all three of you guys can chime in as well. Your number one are Jerome Tang, just so much success going to the Elite Eight. You saw it firsthand. What happened to get to this point now to where he's fired midseason in his fourth year, just a couple years removed from that?
I think honestly, I think what happened, okay, so I think that like when you win that big your first year, right? Not only does it take away some patience from the fans, but take some patience for yourself too. You on that high. You like, yo, I got to Elite Eight my first year, coach of the year. I'm trying to get back to that. You know, I think that like that following year, the step forward would be to try to retain as many guys that was on that team as possible, first of all, because they know your culture, they believe in your culture, they obviously played hard for you, so those guys can relay the message. I think what also tweaked it was the Tomlinson, Naquan. Naquan is an NBA pro. Like, this guy is amazing. Like, you see him on the Cavs now. This is what, 2-3 years removed from when he played for us. Like, ain't that insane to see how special he is now? Could you imagine? And he was really good at Memphis. So could you imagine how much we'd have been? They would have been an NCAA tournament team that year if they don't lose Tomlinson. If they don't lose Naquan, they'll be an NCAA tournament team. So I think that was a big punch. And it impacted the team heavily. Still made the NIT, but just not good enough. And then that prior year, again, you got to retain guys. You got to bring guys that know your culture, believe in you, that want to like develop with you, want to stay with you. And then we brought in a lot of new guys the prior year to that also as well. And then this year, you know, same thing. But I think where if I could personally, if I could personally say, I can't say where he went right or wrong, because I believe in Coach Tang, and I think he's a phenomenal mind, phenomenal basketball mind. So I think the way he did it was what he saw fit to have the success that he wanted. But what I would say is that like after that first year, maybe just slow down a little bit. You know, maybe just get a group of guys who like want to put in the effort and play for you. Get a lot of young guys that you could develop and who could be new to your culture. Because now what happens is that you go from that first year to your second year, they extend you. They give you an even bigger extension, you know? So now that you got that bigger extension, let's slow down a little bit. Let's not go for the heavy hitters. Let's not exhaust our NIL, you know what I mean, and spend that much money. Because now when you spend a lot of money in NIL, it brings a certain pressure on you and a certain pressure on your program. And, you know, the donors, a lot of people and fans get a little bit more impatient when they see big money being involved. So I would say, you know, let's slow it down a little bit and let's get some young guys, develop them, put them through the fire. Get one or two big time players. You know, I think Tyler Perry was good to pick up. My man Kaluma was great. He was great. I loved him. I think he was talented. I think he was good. You know, those guys is good to pick up, but develop those guys around a lot of young guys and Tomlinson, and I think it'll be okay. And then from there, the guys that was a part of that first team who I don't think that didn't develop in the amount of time that he saw, or maybe something happened along the way where they transferred. You know, I think he should hold on to some of those guys. Like Cam shouldn't leave. I don't know if you agree. Me and Clent talked about that. Like Cam, you don't lose Cam. Like this is a guy that like killed for LSU.
And came back in our house and killed us. Had 18,
29. Yeah.
I mean,
you can't lose him. You know what I mean? You can't lose Cam. You know what I mean? Because Cam is a guy who came from, you know, basically you propelled his career. You helped him. He wound up growing every year. And he's a hard worker and he stays in the gym. He's a gym rat. So those are guys that you need to be a part of your culture because they see it, they believe in it. And whatever you need to do to retain them, you retain them. So if I could say what kind of went left, that would, you know, that's what I would say. What you think? Like, what y'all feel?
No, I'm on the same. I think there's no doubt to me that Coach Tang can recruit and get talent. I think we've had some talent over the years that he's been here. I think that's not been an issue as far as like, oh, we don't have any talent. Like, I think we've had talent. I think it's the guys to fit together, right? And can you get the right guys that make the right makeup of how you want to play and that can go out there and play the way that you expect them to play, right? And I think that's where maybe things just didn't go the way that he kind of saw, and that he wanted. When you bring in, some of the guys that we brought in that have been tremendously talented, we can say we want to say about Coleman Hawkins, but he's a talented guy. Doug McDaniel's a talented guy, right? Tyler Perry's a talented guy. This just name of, obviously PJ's a talented guy. Like, so we brought in some talent, but at this level and for Kansas State basketball, we've always been built on, yes, you have to have some talent, but the right makeup of the team is what the really good Kansas State teams have had. Like, you look at those years with, the three guys, right? The Dean, Barry, and Kamau and Stokes, right? Like, those were young guys that Weber brought in and developed them into becoming what they became, right? And you kind of mentioned, like, we haven't retained a lot of guys. We just said, hey, let's go get the talent and let's try to make it fit, versus let's go get the guys that fit how we want to play so that we can go win games, right? And it still might end up we get one of those talented guys, but hey, how about we get one of those and then let's get other guys that we need to fill those individual roles around that guy so that we can be the best team that we have. We look at that Elite Eight run, and Kurt, you were there obviously on the staff. I mean, you look at the makeup of that team, it's like, yeah, we had a dog in Noel, right? Keontae was a dog on the wing, right? Cam fit a role of defend and make threes, right? You had Naquan who defend and just be everywhere, right? You had Gasson, who his role was like, hey, man, I just go out there and play hard. Like, you're going to make things happen just by playing hard, setting screens, rolling, right? Getting rebounds, offensive rebound, putbacks. Like, you had guys that just, like, fit certain roles within the team, which was what made that team really, really good, right? And I think that's where maybe, I know Coach Tang had a lot of success that year, and it was like, all right, let's just go and try to go get, the biggest talent, and let's try to make that fit. And it just didn't work, unfortunately. So I think that's maybe where it went wrong.
So I just really want to call a spade because everybody on this call, I mean, Ryan, you've been connected with us for as long as we've been doing this thing as Purple Rain, Purple and Black. We've been a part of cultures that have been a part of Kansas State men's basketball teams after us. And Clint, you mentioned Barry, Dean, Cam. Like, those guys, that group, when we came back in the summertime, those guys wanted to play against us. Those guys wanted to play against Jacob Pullen. Those guys wanted to play against Curtis Kelly. They wanted to play against J.O. They wanted to play against Tay. They wanted to play. So even when they didn't have a winning season after the Elite Eight run, because we didn't go there that summer going into Tang's first year. We didn't go there that summer. That year after, we went there. The last 2 years we've gone there. Nobody wanted to play. I'm not calling nobody out. I'm not going to call no players out on here. Nobody wanted to play. And we brought the culture. We are the culture. We are the history of Kansas State men's basketball when it comes to winning basketball in the last 20 years. Everybody's in that gym. Guys do not want to play. Straight up.
I'll tell you one guy who did want to play, because I was got to defend him, was
David Castillo.
He wanted to play.
David Castillo.
And he was like, I want to play. Like,
if y'all want to do fives, who want to play ones?
David will play
He
ones,
wanted
play fives. He wanted to play.
Doug McDaniel wanted to play. I'm going to call the guys out who wanted to play. David Castillo wanted to play. Doug McDaniel wanted to play. Everybody else, and those guys alone took the time and had the courage to step up to get those guys to play. And guys didn't want to play. So when you gonna go out there and win basketball games? Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah, J.O. and Tay, you guys, no senior class in program history has ever won more games than you two.
Absolutely.
Jacob Pull and Curtis Kelly made us play basketball games.
I was literally not to cut you off, Joe, but that's literally what I was going to say. I was at 18 years old. We came in, and I had a disdain for Jacob Puller for all of the summertime. We didn't have a choice. We're playing basketball every single day. 2009, 2010, we played basketball Monday through Sunday, after work, after lifting, and after individuals. Jake says, we're playing basketball. I don't care how tired you are. We're going to play basketball, and it's normally about 2 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And this is how we got acclimated into the college game, but also this is, at the time, this is our leader saying, hey, I just went to a NIT the year before. I'm not doing that again. And then we make our Elite Eight run. I think those two things coincide with each other very, very well. We did not have an option. I used to talk to Nick Russell all the time, and I'll say, I'm playing today. And Jake will say, none of y'all better not leave this. Nobody's leaving the gym. We're hooping every single day. And we had to go against them. So these are guys that are established. This is Curtis Kelly coming right from UConn. We didn't have no chance every day. We didn't have a chance.
But Tay, here's the sad part, Tay. Jacob Pullen was in that gym for the last 2 summers. I don't care what nobody say. In my opinion, he's the greatest Kansas State player to ever come across this platform.
Yes.
And for Jacob Pullen to be in a gym and dudes not want to lace it up and play basketball is sad. You don't bleed purple. I don't care. Like, you don't bleed purple because we're not out here telling you, yo, we need to play 7 games. You know what I'm saying? We need to get up and down. Nah, like, we come in here to work on our things, and we want you guys to work on y'all things the work that y'all putting in the summer. Showcase that right now. Showcase it. We only here for about a week. Come showcase it.
And
Dudes want to play.
And Barry, that summer we came in, Barry was fiending to play against Paul. Like, he really was like, yo, nah, like, I want to see him.
If you're a competitor,
to play against me. Like, Dean is like, yo, I want to see you. Like,
yeah,
telling me like, yo, I don't know if back in the day how it'll be you versus me. I want to see what's up. And Tay and Jo saw it, but like, I seen Dean grow that summer too, because now he's playing against me, and like, I'm talking crazy to him. He talking back, like, you know, that. He got a little bit of my essence and Jo essence and Tate essence. Like, we gritty, tough guys. You know what I mean? Like,
they don't know Dean when he be talking. So
we talk crazy. We on you. And when you get, that's what those pickups and even playing pickup period is about. It's about building that togetherness and that connection through basketball for continuous amount of times. Like, it ain't just 1 or 2 times. We played every day we was there. We played against them or damn near. Played against them, like, and I was like 28 at the time, so like that 27, my knees was knocking, and I still was like, yo, nah, I'm in here, like, we gonna play against them, like, so like, yeah, man. And I think that that essence of being gritty and tough is K-State basketball. Like, we don't do the prima donna, we don't do the egos, we have teams that come together, be together, and show it on the court, show their love for each other on the court. And the fans, you know, take that in. We didn't win every game at K-State. I remember games that we lost, and fans still cheer for us. Like, that's where we was at a point when I was playing. And Jo and Tay put on a jersey more than I did, so they saw it too. Clent as well. Like, all 3 of these guys put on a jersey for multiple years. I put on a jersey for 2, so they seen it. You know what I mean? That essence of K-State basketball is gritty, because guess what? You're in a realm where there's nothing but blue collar workers, guys that wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning and milk cows, cut up all kinds of cattle, like they out there with their lawnmowers, they big lawnmowers. Like, this is where you going, this is where you playing at. So they want to see that be a resemblance on the basketball court. Or any sport they cheer for when they come to K-State games. They want to see the grind, the gritty, the toughness. So, yeah, man.
That's the mindset.
Absolutely.
A couple, Scott had one earlier. He sent in another super chat. We're talking about Shane.
Hey, yo, Scott, you spit chicken, bud.
Man.
Let me hold something, Scott. Yo.
Jeff also came in here. Appreciate the time you guys spent tonight. For love of K-State. You know what, guys? Like, if anybody here watching, listening, question your guys' just, you know, loyalty love for this university. I mean, guys, you hit everything out of the park, and it's true. I mean, it's very apparent the culture that you guys kind of played in different times, but the culture was there, and it was there for a while. It was there for years, and you know what? Full circle moment. Here we are, guys, with Kansas State looking for a new head coach, and you know these 4 dudes come into town, and only a couple dudes on the current team even want to play against them in one-on-one.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna get it back right.
Yeah. K-State basketball will be okay. And before we whatever we gonna do, I just gotta say this. I gotta say this, y'all. I know I gotta say this. Listen, like, and I hope as many K-State fans hear this and hear it loud and clear. Okay, like it's a certain integrity that K-State has shown all of us through hard times, and has shown what it is to be a K-State fan, what it is to be a K-Stater, period. You know what I mean? Like, if you want to judge him off of wins or losses, that's cool. If you want to critique him off wins or losses, that's cool. But please, like this is someone who like around Christmas, like would put a little card, build a little card for me, tell me how much he appreciated me and loved me, put a little couple dollars in there, even though he knew I didn't need the money, but just put a little couple dollars in there, show me love. This is a person who like knew that I was getting up early in the morning for scouts and would meet me personally, like at the gym, in order to give me Gatorade or whatever I need to drink. It's a person, when he first came in, sat down and had a meal with me by himself, bought me his favorite Indian food, just like brung it by himself, sat there with me, and we did recruiting and scouting for 3 hours, just me and him. So like, when you don't question his integrity, don't question him as a man or as a person. Don't let the wins and losses fool you. This is a good person who's God-fearing, who has a high balance and high understanding of faith, who's a great family man, great husband, you know what I mean, great father, who put all his people, his personal people, in position to make money and to build with them, you know what I mean, and give them some livelihood. This is the type of guy that Coach Tang is. So like, let's not disrespect, let's not like make fun, because you know, as Clent said earlier, you know what I mean, lives change, you know, people lose their job, which is not cool. Families got to pack up and move, you know what I mean? The livelihoods is questioned, you know what I mean? I'm like, these are people on staff who just recently had children, you know what I mean? They're gonna have to figure out what they newborns, what they're gonna do moving forward.
Right.
So let's show a certain integrity to these people and certain grace to them, because he's not a con man. He wasn't trying to trick anybody out of money. That's not the type of character that Coach Tang is. This is a person who poured into K-State, who poured into all his young men. Everyone he coached, he poured into them and tried to give them wisdom, how to be a great man to society, as well as being a good basketball player. Before anything, he wanted you to be a great man to society, first and foremost, and a man of God. So this is someone who like poured into multiple different places in our community, our K-State community, who just didn't do well or didn't do to the standard that some of you guys want, which is cool. That's cool. Like, you can say whatever you want about that, but like, let's not the jokes, the memes, the kikis and ha's and talking about him in a bad fashion. I think it's uncalled for, and to me, it disgusts me seeing it. Whether it's be from a Twitter account who no one knows, or whether it be for some people in the media or anybody else who I know personally. Let's not do that. Like, let's judge him off wins and losses. But this is not an op. This is not an op to K-State basketball. This is someone who didn't just uphold a certain standard that you may see fit. But as a man, he held that standard. As far as integrity, as far as showing up every day, trying to do his job, as far as trying to bring a certain vibe and vibrato to K-State basketball, he did that. Let's be for real. So I gotta say that, Ryan, just to add that in there, and because that's my big dog. I love him. I got love for the staff in him. So I appreciate y'all giving me a little minute to express that. But I just gotta let that be known, man. Like,
and I'll add this to that too, Kurt, and because a lot of people don't know this, even about us as alumni and guys that did not play for him, you know, obviously at Kansas State, but you know, he's a guy that we obviously, like I've done multiple times, like you can text him and he will text you back probably within the hour. You know, and for a head coach, like he has no obligation to do that. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of other things going on that he has to worry about. But I mean, literally, there's been, as you mentioned, like at Christmas, I've texted him at Christmas, hey man, you know, Merry Christmas, and literally within an hour, a picture and Merry Christmas, go Cats, you know, love you. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's a lot of things that he did just behind the scenes that people don't even know about, you know, when it comes to just a good man, you know, good person that Coach Tang is. So, as you mentioned, it's a business. It's unfortunate, you know, and we can judge him off of the wins and losses, the X's and O's. If you didn't like that, you can judge him off of that. But as far as his character and who he is as a person, you know, I don't think there's anything there that people should be saying bad about who he is as a person, and he's a God-fearing man, you know. So, you know, we gotta leave it there.
Absolutely.
Yeah, Kurt. I mean, just so everybody is clear on this, Kurt isn't saying this from the outside. You can disagree with Kurt all you want, but Kurt spent a full 365 days, if not probably more, with Coach Tang and his staff. And Clent, obviously, David Castillo, as a high school recruit, somebody that's pretty important for a coaching staff to build a relationship with, is high school coach. Obviously, you've built that relationship before, you know, David Castillo even arrived in Manhattan.
That's right.
Well, you guys got anything else, man? We've gone an hour and a half. Felt like it was 20 minutes.
I got something to tell you. What you got, baby? Come on, give us something, bro.
Hey, yo. We can go another hour if you want. We covered everything.
J.O.'s got to work in the morning. He's got students to recruit on campus, right?
Yeah, I got enough students. I got students to recruit, man, but I need to go find something to eat. I mean, I usually don't eat past 8 p.m., but tonight was a special. Oh, man, here we go, Tay. You know, he going to call me as soon as this is over anyways and critique me. Okay. You know. So at the end of the day, man, Shane Southwell, what are you talking about?
I like it. Yeah, I got anything, bro?
I'll say this.
Go ahead, Clint.
I'll say this, and I mentioned this on X yesterday, I think yesterday. But you know, these three guys, and we have a Purple Rain, you know, text group. A lot of former players in it as well. You know, and we all love Kansas State, man, and we want the best for Kansas State from a player standpoint, from a coaching staff standpoint, from a university standpoint. You know, we all bleed purple, and you guys can see the connection that we have as players. Because we all put that jersey on. It's a special bond. Obviously through the Purple Rain, you know, with J.O. and Tay, you know, co-founded the Purple Rain and keeping that alumni base together and competing for things in the summertime, you know. But I think it's special, man. The putting on that jersey for the Wildcats, even though I didn't have the opportunity to play with these guys that are on, you know, on this show right now, you know, it doesn't even matter because it's just special because we all played in Manhattan, Kansas for the Kansas State Wildcats. And so we all have that special bond together. So it's genuine love that we have for the university. And obviously we want the best for it.
Shout out to Uncle Clent. Absolutely.
Uncle Clent, man. Hey, real exciting Purple Rain news coming soon.
Oh, gosh.
Real soon.
I do
we're gonna premiere it on the Clent Stewart Show. All right.
Bring it on, man.
Saying it from right now.
I do have a shout out. Hoop enthusiast, KSU. That is AJ. He used to be a manager for us. Shout out to AJ.
Pizza party.
Pizza party.
All right. You know what? I saw that. Let's bring it up here.
Let's bring it up. AJ. He's been texting me. AJ, Brian Kruger, Pat, my guy Pat, and Demo. We're all in the group text. They're watching us.
Yes, sir, fellas.
Shout out to them guys. Demo is doing an absolutely
great job
down at Jacksonville State, and he's another guy, another KSU guy that I would love to see in purple again.
Everett Lastrana too, man. I just seen somebody.
Yeah, that was AJ. Shout out to E.
Yeah,
he's with UM doing his thing as well.
Yeah, he's big time. So
my dog Kevin at the Division II, killing it. Got a natty under his belt. Listen, man, a lot of dudes under that Weber tree, man. A lot of dudes under that Frank Martin tree. Free agents. Free agency.
We had the NIL that these dudes have, AJ, man. We know pizza parties, man. You know,
Hey, that 1942,
Yeah.
that 1940 Deuce parties with the pizza.
you know. Yo, what's up? Can Purple Rain get a what's that spot called downtown Manhattan? Right by AJ's. What's that called, bro?
Wine Dive, Finn's, Tap House, Manhattan Brewing.
Nah, the one with the waffles, B.
Bourbon and Baker.
The chef?
Bourbon. You need
Bourbon.
a
Okay, Bourbon.
Baker. Come see my man.
I'll run it through the Purple Rain credit card. You heard? I'll swipe that one time for the summer. I'll swipe that. But y'all all getting small plates.
Man, hey, man, as long as I got the that's my favorite spot in Manhattan, man. Bourbon and Baker.
Chicken and waffles, man.
If it's
Taco
free,
Lucha
it's for
Plan is
me.
crazy, Kurt.
What'd you say?
Hey, yeah, you
Taco
get one
Lucha
small
Plan is
plate,
crazy.
Tay.
Takalucha.
If it's
What'd
free,
you
it's
say?
for me.
Taco Lucha is crazy too, though. Yeah.
Yeah.
What'd you say, Ryan?
Taco Lucha.
That's your
Yeah.
favorite Taco
Oh,
Lucha?
yeah.
I
Oh, yeah.
remember
Yeah,
I
I
had
know. It's-
Ryan was at Taco Lucha handing out that.
I'm going with so longs, baby. So longs. They partners. I need that resist temptation.
No, you're going so long, bro.
That resist temptation.
What's your favorite spot, Tay? Like, what's your favorite spot?
Chipotle.
Ew.
First of all,
Chipotle. I'll answer for him. In Aggieville, Chipotle.
I've eaten Chipotle in a lot of states across the United States. I haven't had one that is better than the one in Manhattan. My favorite.
There you go.
My favorite place. I have a three-way tie. So I was saying boo to Taco Lucha for. I think Taco Lucha has good food. I broke my phone there, and since I broke my phone there, I didn't like it.
Yeah, trauma. Mhm.
There's a tie between the chef and bourbon.
Chef is good.
Absolutely love the chef. Bourbon you can never go wrong with. And I'm also a guy that likes Omi. I'm sorry. I
Yeah,
like
man.
Omi.
Classic. Classic. Yeah, it's a three-way tie for me, too, man. I'm going Omi's, Chef, and Bourbon. Like,
Crazy.
Chef is special. Listen, the last time I was in town, I was probably the second person in there. If they opened up at 7, I was in there at 7:05. If it was 6 a.m., and I was in there at 6:05. And to have the first plate off the grill is amazing. So I advise anybody to do it.
Yo, shout out my man Jeff Ma, man. He going crazy in the chat. Yo, Jeff Ma, what
Going
up?
crazy. Yes, sir.
Track and field.
Track and field.
Jeffrey
USA.
Hey,
Not
Sean.
USA. I'm sorry, Olympian.
Family.
All right.
Jeffrey Jumas, 2-time Haitian Olympian.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Born and raised in Fort Lauderdale, Florida.
Yeah, you might get. Hey, listen, man, we might have to get some Olympians on here, Clint. We might have to get some.
might be
Might have a
coming-
little Olympian.
This basketball.
I mean, they are number one in the country.
Right.
They all number one in the country. K-State.
K-State.
Hey, big shout out to Eric Kennard. Eric Kennard threw a great major Big 12 event a couple weekends ago. Had all the sports scientists out here for Team USA. He's part of USA Track and Field Committee. Eric Kennard, obviously gold medalist, Olympian, for Team USA. Jordan Brand athlete, was the only Jordan Brand athlete at the time, before track and field athletes existed for Jordan Brand. So for him to see him come to Manhattan and put on a great event with our Big 12 athletes here, it was phenomenal to see him in that position.
We need Eric and Jeff. They best friends.
Absolutely. What's up, Ryan? What you got, man? Like, give me something, bro. We've been letting people hear.
Ryan said, "Look, man, this show is about y'all. Y'all do the talk."
Before we end this, like, what's your minds towards K-State basketball? What are you excited for? Like, what you excited for yourself? Moving forward.
Like, just for myself, man. Like, you see me sitting here and staying back. Like, I grew up watching all 4 of you guys religiously, and just to be a part of this show is pretty humbling. And that's why I was just like, I was just listening, right? Even if I wasn't hosting this show, I'd be sitting back and watching. So that's why I have this job, right? If I didn't have it, I'd still be on GoPowercat every day, tuning into, whatever was going on. But moving forward, man, I'd say consistency. If you want my 2 cents, right? Whatever you get out of a coach, Jerome Tang's roster construction with Buddy Rich, Day-Day Ames, RJ Jones. Okay, you bring them in, and then for whatever reason it doesn't work out, and then you got to go attack the portal. Post game, you hear Tang say this, he says that. He's proud of his guys. He says what happens after Cincinnati, right? I'd like consistency, and ultimately what we talked about earlier, consistency is going to lead to that stability at the end of the day. And I'd like to say thanks to Clent, by the way, for not only this, but Jacob Poland kind of taking charge with these shows and getting you guys together. J.O., Kurt, Tay, I'm very glad you guys joined, but, thank you, Clent, for organizing this, this as always.
Oh, sure.
The GOAT.
Now, I'm lucky, man. Like I said, we're all teammates, man. We're all family, and I know I can ask these guys anything, man. They'll show up, given the time, and so I just appreciate you guys, obviously, giving up 2 hours on a Monday night of your time, man. And talking about, Kale's talked about the coaching staff right now at Kansas State having young ones. Hey, he has a young one right now, and Tay got another one on the way.
On the way.
Yeah.
Next month. We do next month.
Young Cash. He may be in the K-State uniform. The NAL better be lit. The NAL in turn, he will not be in the K. Nah, I'm playing. Oh, I love K-State, but we got to get the NIL right. Man. But Clint, Ryan, appreciate y'all for having me on. It's good to be around my brothers, Tay and J.O., man. I love you guys, man. Like Clint says, man, we all family. It's a pleasure to always be around them, talk basketball, talk life with them. And just moving forward, I just, I pray for K-State basketball, pray for K-State period. We got a lot of great things ahead. Colin Klein getting hired. K-State athletics is looking phenomenal across the board. So I'm just happy to just be a part of the Purple before and continue to have these conversations with guys that wore the Purple and guys that's been a part of Purple like Ryan for years. It's a pleasure and a blessing, man. And I'm happy to have y'all and be able to talk to y'all. But I need my own segment, man. J.O. got his own segment. I need my own segment, man. So when y'all done with everybody else,
okay.
You
got to go to Clint for that. That's all Clint.
I was trying, Kels. You always, you had a basketball game going on.
Yeah. I'm coaching y'all.
Coach Kels.
Get my boys ready to win this.
This man Kels said he needs his own segment. You gonna get your own segment and win. You talked about everything tonight. What they gonna ask?
No, it's a lot to talk about. I saw your interview, Tay. You quiet tonight. I don't know what's going on, but you kind of.
I was letting y'all, have your moment. I just, I had certain feelings. I ran off what I wanted to run off. But a lot of our conversation we had was kind of leading up to what we ended up with today.
Yeah.
From the result of last night, we having a conversation about this season. So now this really was your segment, brother. They can't bring you back. I'm sorry.
Stop it. I would love to know what it would be like, Tay, if you was around this NIL era, because during your time you had chances that you probably left, but you stayed in the Purple.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be in J.O. too. It'll be insane to see, how y'all guys' careers would have turned out. And this, all of us.
Hey, I don't know, man. What I seen on Twitter the other day, Buddy had me ranked like 85th. I don't know. I might have no choice but to stay at K-State.
Hey, you're hiring me.
He hired me. I couldn't believe it. He got dudes on there.
Yeah, come on.
He got dudes on there that played 3/4 of a season, ranked before us, and I'm just like, hey, see, that's with all due respect. That's why I didn't respond to it or say thank you, because it's just like, what we talking about, bro?
What was you ranked? What was the number? 80 what?
80 something.
That's kind
of. Where would you put yourself?
Leading blocks, huh?
No, JJ, where would you put yourself?
Realistically,
yeah,
top 30.
Top 30?
Respectfully.
All-time leader in shots blocked, winningest player in school history.
I still got the NCAA record in blocks. I still tied for the most offensive rebounds in an NCAA tournament game.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, like, the list goes on. I still got the Big 12 regular season record for shots blocked. Like, I don't know.
And he's a conference champion, too. Of course.
JL. Come on, dog. Like, listen, I really love myself. I wasn't even in the top 100, and I don't care. Like, I don't.
You're not in the top 100. Yeah, you don't know that,
yeah, bro.
You could be coming up. How many numbers have we had? Has he done?
Right?
Like
listen, I'm gonna be completely honest with y'all. I get I played 4 years. I played 4 years, and I understand my impact. They already said Marcus Foster name, bro. Come on, guys. We know how elite Marcus was.
But then again, it's somebody that's never played a game of basketball, I'm assuming. So it's all good.
I think his list has been very solid early.
I'm out. Don't call me after the call. Don't call me after we're done.
I didn't get on the list yet. I'm hoping if I am on that joint,
You're on the list, Kel.
You're on the list of
give
thousands.
me like at least like top 50. I'll be.
You're gonna be top 30 where J.O. think he's at.
I wish. If I'm top
If
30,
we go through, I could probably list his top 10.
You could list his top 10.
Probably list his top 10. I've
What's
been
his top
doing
10?
my research. Jake,
Mm-hmm.
Bees, Orlando Black, Mitch Richmond,
Mm-hmm.
Ernie Barrett.
Mm-hmm.
Ernie's because he's the Final Four. Ernie, what I'm at 5.
Lon Kruger.
Lana probably be in that.
Steve Henson.
Steve, I was going to say Steve.
Yeah.
Cartier Martin.
Cardio might be top 15, top 20.
Okay.
I'm gonna be honest. Rod might make that top 10.
Rod's making that top 10. Dean Wade, Barry Brown.
Dean, Barry, yeah.
Barry. Yeah, that's
I don't know if Dean make the top 10 though.
Dean got to make top 10.
I think he make top 20, but I don't know if he's gonna make top 10. That's a tough one.
Dean was injured a little bit too much.
Yeah, that's the thing. We know how
Barry was
talented Dean is. That's why he's in the NBA. But the injury kind of,
Bob Boozer, yeah, that's
Bob Boozer for sure.
Bob Boozer, definitely, yeah. We should definitely we should have that person when he's done with his list on the Clent Stewart Show.
Yeah.
Have him talk about his list. And then add
J.O.
I don't want no parts. I'll watch.
Come on, J.O.
I'll support. I'll watch.
J.O., you realize I don't think you
85?
Yo, J.O., do you understand?
85?
J.O.,
nobody has touched my record in over a decade. 85?
Can I say something?
No.
Do you understand how many people put on purple since the school became a university?
Yeah, that's
85.
How many years has K-State University been?
It's like it was like 1800s. Like
I broke the record in 3 years, and I wasn't playing over 22 minutes a game.
Yo, J.O.,
85?
I understand that. I'm with you.
No, it's cool.
100.
It's not about me.
Top
85.
100 out of thousands of basketball players that's played at K-State. That's incredible, bro. You should be happy with yourself.
Miss me with that, bro.
Miss me with that. Got it.
J.O. said that's like losing by 14 against Houston.
No, not 14. That's like getting clapped by Cincinnati by 30.
No, it's not, J.O. Don't do
And
that.
not being in the top 30. Don't let that go over your head.
Yo, J.O., some of the people he had in front of you, you feel like you should be in front of them?
Tyler Perry.
Yo, who does that say y'all gonna get smoked when you come to Lawrence? Yo, bro, why are you here? What's up? What's up with you, bro? Like you in the building, at least donate a couple dollars if you want to. Come on, bro. Like it ain't never that serious, bro. You took your time out just to write that.
Yeah, he gonna be the only one in the stands tomorrow with a bag over his head.
Yo,
Coming to the stands tomorrow, man. Appreciate you guys, man. Love you all. Love all
you
you
ain't
guys.
got nothing to do. Why you getting off, bro? We having a good time.
85?
Yeah, I'm here, bro. Like I'm not.
You're new going to sleep. J.O.'s mad at 85. I think
Why
that's
is it
a great
super
number.
serious, bro? What's going on with you, Michael Basgal?
Jail's attitude is what we need more.
I think we found, so we got J.O. being 80 whatever, Kurt, the comments, Tay, losing by 14. I'm not sure what grinds Clint's gears.
Yo, Tay, you know I'm top 7 in Big 12 history, right?
Yes, I do.
History, Big 12, not just K-State.
Why that's not in your bio?
Nah, why you don't do his homework?
Somebody said jail top 50 for sure.
Well, he said top 30 though. A lot of your top 30 guys gonna be like.
I don't know 30. Like I gotta go through a list to see 30 because like I don't know back in that. Maybe I need to do my research. I don't know back in 1976. I don't know that.
Your top 30 gonna be like the Bill Walker.
Yeah, Bill.
He shouldn't be top 30. Bill Walker should be top 30.
He should, bro. He wilded out, bro. He wilded out at 12.
No, he should be like top 15.
maybe I gotta
Bill
see a
Walker.
list before I say that. You know what I mean? Like, I gotta see a list. I gotta see some sort of list before I like even go that route.
Yeah.
Because there's so many players, bro, that like it's players we're not even thinking of probably. Like, so in the Bruce Weber era, how many of those top 10? Dean, Cam, how many? Dean,
Cam, Barry, and I honestly think that I honestly think
Nigel,
Cardi
they
is
have
good.
Nigel Pack in there.
If they got Nigel, then they should have Cardi.
Cardi should be in there.
Cardi had a year where he averaged 14.
Xavier Sneed will be in there.
Xavier
X for sure will be in there. Yeah, no question. So Marquise probably be top 20.
Wesley Owandu.
If he be top 20 after 2 years, that's tough.
I'm gonna be honest. Marquise gonna be like 16. Watch.
After 2 years is tough.
Because his senior year, especially, and you can correct me if I'm wrong, Ryan. It was his senior year early on. They were winning. It was kind of up and down, and then they went on a run that, like, I want to say, end of January type in the Big 12 where nobody could beat them, and he was averaging like 12 assists a game. Yeah. And then obviously the tournament run and that.
Keontae gonna be on there, one and done.
Yeah, for sure.
He'll be on that list.
30. He should be top 30. Amber. Hey, Amber, what's up, Amber?
Amber. Yeah, Amber.
West should be definitely top 20.
Amber, my real friend. Outside of these guys.
Yeah, that's the only ones.
Kelsey Scott. We could just keep going for like a 24 hours, and every 30 minutes, every hour, Scott will keep coming in with that money. But Scott, we really appreciate it.
Scott's the man.
Bag, bro.
So you know what Scott did? I'm about to do a harmless plug. Scott came to my store a couple weeks ago and bought some a bottle of Hennessy that he said Scott might be gonna pour him a little Henny tonight, having a good time. That's what Scott did.
Why you ain't let me get that 1942?
Because Scott paid for his alcohol at my store. He was trying to get it for free. If you really support your friends, you will actually buy it. Ed Neely, yep, another name. That's
Ed Neely, big Ed Neely.
Yeah.
Hot 20.
Yeah.
Who's that?
JL, it's tough. You might got a case for it, JL. I know what you mean. What?
JL tight about that. It's only one list, bro. Yo,
I'm just trying to think, like, how many guys is on the boards? It's on that list. Like, if we go top 30, how many of those guys is on the board?
Yeah, bro.
Like on a physical NBA draft board.
Not many, bro.
It's not. It's not.
They don't go off to that. They go off of they go off of strictly and purple.
Mitch and Rolando's top 10 for sure.
Yeah.
Those are two.
We never played Wake Forest with Jeff T.
I'm gonna be Jo. So you said top 30. Like, we being realistic right now. Are you're not above Jamar Samuels?
No.
And Jim gonna fall in like the 40 range.
Yeah.
Why?
He was a national almost six man of the year in Big 12.
He shouldn't be top 40. He should be lower than that.
I don't disagree, but
yeah.
I gotta see a list before I judge. But yeah, Jam should definitely
the guy he shows your years that you play, he shows your best year, he shows your career accolades, and then there's a highlight under it. So I think from what he is doing is he's basing it off of that along and impact also. Because there's some guys that's going to be on there that might have 1 year, you know what I mean? But depending on how they impact it, that's what he might be basing it on.
Yeah, but I agree. I think JL should be way lower than 80. 80 something is kind of crazy though. Like, this is a guy who leads it. Like, DJ was before JO. I think DJ was after JO. But DJ, I just saw DJ recently on that list.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't like DJ should be lower than me too. Gip, I ain't named Gip yet, but Gip.
Yeah, Gip got named.
Yeah, Gip's on there. He's already been on there. Named.
Oh, for real? Well, yeah. Damn, we got Gip on there already.
Mm-hmm.
Gip was there for all 4 years, right?
Mm-hmm.
Where the hell they got Gip at in the 80s?
I'm glad I'm glad the comments are helping. Mike Evans, another NBA guy.
Evans, yeah.
Will Spradlin, where is he gonna go on there?
He already
Will
been.
already went.
What? So who
Will
else?
was like 90 something,
Yeah.
like low
Bro,
90s.
so do we have 60, 70 people better than these guys? Like I'm trying to figure it out.
Askia Jones.
Yep.
Askia Jones is a good one. Yeah, Beasley top 30. Beasley
He's
top
number
5.
one. Yeah, he top 3.
Bees
top
is
2.
one.
Top 2. Is it him
Bees
or Poole,
is
right?
one.
Nah, Pauls is 1.
Who's gonna be
Liverpool.
one? That's gonna be the controversial of what those two people's spots are
864 points.
in a year. Well, listen, we know he had a all timer, not just K
He
State.
changed the whole
freshman year.
He changed the whole trajectory. Like I wouldn't come to K-State if I didn't see Mike
I
Beasley.
agree. But earlier in this
And that's
call,
respectfully.
Ryan
Poole being number 2.
can clip it and go back. Early in this call, J.O. said, in my opinion, Jacob Pullen is the greatest basketball player that ever.
That is true.
He didn't want to hoop with him.
Switch that up. He did, Tay.
I agree.
Let's switch that up.
He
Tay.
played all 4 years. He's the greatest K-Stater. But
Correct.
number 1 on that list is Michael Beasley.
Wait, how is he K-State, but he's not number 1 on the all K-State list?
They're gonna go.
Michael Beasley's number 2 draft pick. Michael Beasley scored 864 points in a single season. He's crushing 2,000 points in 2 years, fellas. Let's stop.
Pulls is the greatest K-Stater ever, bro. It's just there's no doubt about it, bro.
He's not the best, but he's the greatest.
He's the greatest.
But you gonna put like black, like
he's the greatest.
Maybe on.
But Michael Beasley was number 1 on that list, fellas.
Nah, I think it's gonna be Rolando is gonna be
Nah.
Nah.
Rolando Blackman's joint is crazy, bro. You better.
He'll be top 10. He'll be top 5. Ish.
Nah,
I'm
Blackman.
Yo,
It's
Kel.
Richmond too.
I'm not being biased because he's a Fort Lauderdale guy, but Mitch Richmond's going to go in front of Rolando.
Mm.
And he did 2 years. Facts.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm saying pulling number 1.
Here's the thing, guys. How many
Jeremiah
current players know who half these dudes are?
Nobody.
Richmond, Boozer, Blackman.
No,
Who the heck are these guys?
Listen, Ryan, they wouldn't know who we are if we didn't come back. So shout out to Kels.
Yeah, I think I mean, so do coaches kind of add that to their like pride thing? Like, do they just like how does that work? Because it's hard, man. I mean, when I created K-State, I didn't care. I would say that I cared about who played at K-State before. I cared about who put on uniform. You know what I mean? I wanted to meet some of the guys who, returning and show the school love. I wanted to shake the hands of the people who was in the stands. They called out their name.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't know if these guys care about that, but I don't know. You pay.
I was almost embarrassed during Legends Weekend when Coach Tang was up there introducing the guys. It was almost embarrassing to watch. It looked like dudes didn't want to be there. And Tang took his time. Bailey took their time to put a great Legends Weekend together. And you wouldn't even if you was up there watching, you had to see the older guys before us reactions. That's how embarrassing it was. For somebody to put their time and effort to make something happen like that, which is special every year, regardless of who the head coach is, which is special every year for Legends to come back. And to see dudes up there that look just completely disinterested, forget what their facial expressions was. I was looking at the guys that put it on before us. Lon Kruger went up there and talked.
Lon Kruger talked?
Lon Kruger went up there and talked.
Lon Kruger, that's OD.
Come on, man.
He talked? What? You got Lon Kruger to talk?
Yo.
Now he ain't just a legendary player, he's a legendary coach. He's OD as a coach. Like the head.
You know what I'm saying?
Wow. For him to pull up is crazy.
Bro, it was somebody up there eating like they had the munchies, bro. While Coach was talking. Couldn't believe it. Like, that's not what Tang is about, man. That ain't the culture he bring. You know what I'm saying? So, like, the disrespect, like, I'm just like, yo, why dudes look so disinterested? He ain't keeping you up there all night.
Mhm.
So, like, it was embarrassing to see as a former player. And then it was just really embarrassing to see the other guys that put the jersey on before us, blood, sweat, and tears. Like, some of them dudes like shaking their head because they already knew what time it was. It was embarrassing to see. But let's go get this dub against Baylor tomorrow. Shouldn't me.
Yeah, yo.
Yo, Lon Kruger was a big time player and
Ron
coach.
Kruger went up there and talked.
Who the greatest coach? I like what Amber said. What's the greatest K-State coaches that ever coached at K-State?
The guy who created the triangle offense.
Tex Winter.
Like one of number one.
The guy who created the offense for the greatest player, yeah.
Webb number 2.
What? You think so? I
He
don't
won
think you. Let me
He won
go,
2.
think a little bit before y'all say this, guys. And
Just go look on the Big 12 championship wall. That's enough right there, brother.
Somebody said Jack Hartman.
Like, what are we forgetting? I don't know about y'all. I'm born and raised in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. When I came to K-State, I did all of my research.
How many Big 12 championships? Was it Big 8? What was it back then? How many championships they got though?
But there's some coaches.
We ain't got that many in school history. It ain't that many, brother. It ain't that many. Remember, Kels, you was done. When me and Tay won, it ain't been done since 1977 prior. So just think about that gap.
Long time.
Just cross out any coach that been there before. No disrespect to Frank, because Frank came and put on and turned this mug around. But from 2013 to 77.
So you want me to? This is what ChatGPT told me, right?
Oh my God.
ChatGPT says Jack Hartman is number 1.
Mm-hmm.
All right, 295 wins, 169 losses at K-State, 6 NCAA appearances, Elite 8, Big 8 titles.
How many?
I think he got 1 or 2 because they don't say how many. He say he got Big 8 titles, but they don't say how many. They say Lon Kruger. He only did for 4 years. His record was 81-46. That's a phenomenal record.
And he went to the NCAA tournament too.
And then number 3, they got my man Webb. They got Webb number 3.
All right, I'll take Webb at 3.
5 to 147, 2 Big 12 regular season titles, 5 NCAA appearances, and that's it. And then they got Coach Tang number 4, huh? Yo,
that's ChatGPT for you.
They got him number 4, bro. Elite 8.
Coach of the year.
I bet ChatGPT put a lot of
He
stock
did
into
get Coach
that.
of the Year. He did get Coach of the Year. Yeah, he did. And before, I think Frank should probably go in there at number 4, though.
Mm-hmm.
Frank should probably go in there at 4, but.
So wait, what's your top 3 you just said?
Top 3,
Hartman,
I agree with them.
Hartman, Lon, and Bruce.
Lon Kruger and Bruce. Yeah, I agree with
You
them.
said Hartman, Lon, and Bruce.
That's ChatGPT's. I agree with it.
Okay, so we're not counting the guy who created the triangle offense. Correct.
Was he the head coach here, or was he an assistant?
No, Tex Winter was a head coach here.
And maybe the data don't follow. Maybe he ain't got that data. Because you can't leave out Tex.
Well, look, Jack Gardner, 2 Final Fours. That just catapults.
No, man.
That catapults him.
No disrespect, man. The history, anything past the 70s is like this is almost irrelevant to me. I don't know, especially the 50s. It's like the 50s. Dudes is dribbling with their right hand only, man.
Yeah, don't disrespect JL. They gonna come
out.
No.
I'm joking. I am that way. I am biased that way about the NBA, though.
Super chat.
Yep, look, Jack Hartman, 3 regular season conference champion, Big 8 titles in 72, 73, and 77. 2 conference tournament championships, Big 8 tournament titles.
Yeah, he got it.
77 and 80. Well, I said Hartman in the beginning.
Landslide.
Tex had
8 regular season conference championships.
I know my stuff. Y'all don't hear me. I seen this guy's comment. None of these dudes are Mitch. Stop trying to front. Listen, Mitch Richmond went to my high school. He's from Fort Lauderdale. None of us is fronting. I don't know if he's still on here. Mitch is one of those guys that if he on that guy's list, if he came up number 1, I understand.
Appreciate it, John.
But
John
he'll probably be like top 3, in my opinion.
Who?
Mitch Richmond.
Well, did Curtis Kelly give us a sign?
You don't hung up on us.
Enjoy the rest of our Mondays.
Kurt got a call. He couldn't turn. He couldn't.
He's a popular man. What can you say?
Yeah, I'm ready when y'all is, man. My foot. I'm ready when y'all ready to go. I'm ready on y'all. It's been a phenomenal.
Yeah.
Appreciate
you guys. And Clint, like I said, man, thank you for organizing this, and also the GOAT polling. Boy, that was Thursday night. And we are a couple days later, and this program is in a much different spot. I'm glad we got pulling when we did.
I had pull up late, man.
I got one more.
My son pulls on the camera like this, like.
I got one.
Yeah, man. Da.
I got one more thing I need to say. I'm sorry. I got one more thing I need to say. This is just
get it off your chest.
I got to give this shout out to Clint. So a guy here who is one of the best investors here in Wichita. His name is Mike Helpstad. He's from Junction City. He sent me a message and he said, from like age 8 to 12, I went to Wooldridge father-son camp and remember Clint being so good to us kids. Shout out to Clint. He's my age now, so that means Clint, you like 50 years old.
That's love.
Shout out to Clint. Grown men doing big things now. They remember as kids, you was the man.
Hey, that's love, man. That's
had to show that love to you.
I appreciate it.
Finally tuned. I think you had a super chat like way earlier. Might have missed it. You're absolutely one of the regulars here on GoPowercat. You know we appreciate you very much, and these are some true gentlemen.
Good.
All right.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
Out of here.
Appreciate it.
If anybody watched the full 2 hours and 12 minutes, you go get yourself checked. But appreciate you guys joining us. Okay.
Appreciate you, Ryan. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
Appreciate you.
I'll meet you in the Ville, Ryan.
Yes, sir. Let's get some lucha.
My dog.
Thank you for watching The Clent Stewart Show, your Kansas State basketball podcast. Make sure you're subscribing to GoPowercat.com. This has been a GoPowercat and Spirit Street production.